link in the chat. Actually, why don't I share my screen now that I'm thinking about it? Why don't I share my screen? Well, actually, no, that's not even going to do it because I have already...
So is it the present now button with a little arrow up?
Yeah, but I'm trying to think because I'm already... Oh my gosh, and that was a technical issue. All right, great, wonderful. Off of the bang. All right, let me see. I'm going to share this link in the chat. Maybe you'll have more luck with it. Where's the thing? There it is. All right, coming into the chat is the link. So this is, if you go to this page.
Okay.
Kathy, are you able to do the links, or are you indisposed or walking around?
Sorry, yeah, I was just walking around.
Okay, all right, go. All right, so it might be harder for you. I'll share the link later, or I'll send it to you later. It's easy to get. So this link, I'm gonna try to. I don't know why it's not letting me log in. Ray, is it letting you log in?
It says log in with Facebook, Google, or email, or new to the site, sign up. So I guess we should sign up.
Yep.
You don't have permissions to access this page.
Awesome. You will have permissions in 2 seconds. Okay. So this is how I'm going to prevent people from DOSing this is I have to approve them to even view the page to be able to sign up. Oh, great. Kathy's in there too. So let me give you 2 badges. All right. So now, if Kathy and Marie refresh, you should be able to see page.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, cool. All right. So the page you're looking at, you got to add a photo, and then it will show the next field, which I think is your name.
Well, I saw something come up with 3 circles, and then it went away. I can share my screen if you want.
Came up with 3 circles, and then that went away?
Yeah, now it just says looking to start a company.
Oh, that's the I should turn that off. That's the pop-up. So if you close that pop-up.
Oh, close. Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha.
Actually, it's awesome that happened. This is so a lot of people have that question. So I'm going to turn that light box off, but it's on right now. All right, so now you should see something where it's kind of like welcome. I can't remember what it looks like.
Yeah. Step 1, add photo. Step 2, join Slack. And step 3, review the agreement.
So if you add a photo, that'll then reveal the next field.
Let's see.
Roger, I tried to log in through Google, but it didn't let me, and now it sends me automatically to this link, the one I just sent.
Great. That means it should have stopped you. And now, and actually, I think you're already a member, so I gotta find you, Jesus, and I gotta give you the badge, and then you shouldn't have that issue anymore. It sent you. Let me check the link that it sent you to. Where is this? Yeah, good. So this is good. So now, so that means I have to give you the permission. I gotta find your login. What email did you use? Should I look up Swaste? Jesus, what email did you use? Oh, here we go. I got you. Info. Image for my badge. Okay. All right, Jesus, if you refresh now, you should be good. Got it. If you refresh now, you should be good. Marie, did it show the other fields?
Yes. So.
And so now there's like a whole big document. You don't have to do it now. You can do it.
Yeah, ask my name, address, phone, email, and then I clicked on the Slacks, and now I'm joining Slack.
Oh, great. Okay, cool. Did the whole agreement show up?
Not yet. I haven't gotten to step 3. Should I click on step 3?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. So it just
Great.
scrolls you down all the way. Okay.
Great. So that's the whole that's like a DAO agreement thing. That was written up by some lawyer that I just ripped off the internet. And it basically just says don't steal ideas and nobody will steal your ideas.
Okay.
Kind of like an intellectual. It's more like it's not really an NDA, but it's probably closer to an NDA than anything else, than like an independent contractor agreement or something.
Okay.
Anyways, you can read through that. When you join that, or once you sign that, what happens is, and now I'll share my screen. Just to sure I don't have anything incriminating on there, and then there. Okay. So once you do that, what happens is a profile gets created for you, and on this page, let me join brackets. Okay. Once you do that, a profile is created for you, and you get a little view on this page here. Okay. So this page is a list of all the people that have signed the agreement, so it's like all the members. You can filter them by their specialty, which if you select in the original thing there, you can filter them by their desire. I'll show you what that is in a second. Power, riches, or innovation. All right. Once you sign it, well, you can just sort of see everybody here. And you'll see some people like mine has a whole bunch of stuff written, and it's kind of like, this is what I charge to do stuff, blah, blah, blah. You can click hire the Hoover, and it doesn't actually have me as, because I thought I was. Oh, I'm not logged in. This is good. So if you're not logged in, it shows this hire the Hoover button. So like any random person can come along and like send you a request. They'll put their budget in, project description, name. If you are logged in, which I'm not right now, but let me get logged in. Are logged in Google. Okay, I've got a technical issue, so that's just not going to work. That's okay. That's just kind of annoying. How can I get in? Oh, whatever. If you are logged in, it has a little thing where you can request tokens from another person, so the page kind of changes. Okay, so once this is supposed to be a GIF. I was working on that the other day and it's not working. All right, everything's loaded now. All right, so once you create your profile, there's a place where you can go to edit this, so you can write in whatever you want. If you don't edit that, it says I won't make fun of Haley, we'll make fun of Jason. It says sales, and then it says I'm a poor Hoover and haven't updated my profile. So actually, Ricketts, I just saw you joined. You need to go in and update yours because you're a poor Hoover who hasn't updated your profile. Brian and Daryl and Lindsay and Harris and Jeremy. Okay, Siddhartha, you need to go do this. Actually, the way you do that, Siddhartha's on the call. All right, so Siddhartha and Ricketts are here. So the way you do that is you go to the Dow Sigs page and then you click under. Oh, there's Kathy. Hey, Kathy. Kathy, perfect. You're actually a great example. Let's do yours. All right, so right now you're a software developer. You're poor Hoover. You have it. All right, so now once you're on this Dow Sigs page, you can click on See Events. And if you're logged in, which I am not, which I need to be, if you're logged in and you go to your page, there is a little, and it's just not letting me log in right now, so there's nothing I can do. If you click See Events on your page, if you click See Events on somebody else's page, you'll just go to their page. But if you click See Events on your page, there's a little Edit tab up there, so you can edit your profile. You change this. It gives you lets you choose a desire, and then it will populate with this content, with the content you write in rather than. So that's sort of the ecosystem type thing. You sign the DAO agreement, you're in, and then you have this little profile page here, which actually Javon right here is working to make pretty. Like right now, it's just got Roger Design on it, which is no good. But Javon's going to make it pretty and more functional. He's working on that right now. He's doing that for Hoove tokens. So like he's doing something for the DAO. So he gets tokens for doing that. We voted on whether or not he would get tokens for that. The vote went positive, and so he gets tokens. There's another thing on here. This is closed AR. This is another part of the whole thing. Is whenever you have a client, like if you're leading with like if you close a deal or something, and you bill a client, we have a whole that page where you sign the DAO agreement actually turns into kind of a dashboard, and there's a tool there where you can send a contract out to a client. They can pay through that page, and all that gets all the ones that you submit and get paid get calculated up and added up here. So you can just sort of see that. Okay. All right. So you sign the agreement. Come to this DAO Sigs page. Yeah. You see all the other people, and you can update your profile by clicking See Events. I wish I could show you, but when you do it on yours, there's a little tab where you edit it. Okay. All right. Any questions on that before we go into the next thing?
Not for me.
Anybody else? Questions on how all that works? Signing the agreement. Oh, great. And, I forgot. I added this to the Discord thing. If you sign, it pings in the group that you did. That's wonderful. So now I gotta... All right, I forgot I did that. A lot of this stuff will will webhook into the Discord. So like if you send an SLA, it webhooks into Discord. If you request, like, so if you like mow somebody else's lawn, like let's say, you know, Kathy, you go and mow, you're a Hoover. Let's say you mow Marie's lawn. You might say, I want Marie to pay me some AR, and you can actually request it through the website too. I gotta find Marie, the Hoover, and then where's Jesus? Jesus, I don't know if you're in the. I don't think you're in the.
That's on the Slack, you mean, or
the Discord? In the Discord. Are you in the Discord, Jesus?
no? Hold on a second.
Let me send you the link.
I think I have it.
I think I sent it to you.
Yes.
You got it. Okay, great. When you join in there, I gave everybody the Hoover tag, which means you can see the Hoover's channel, set of channels, and you know stuff will populate in there. Like if you click on the new Hoovers list, you'll see now these people signed the agreements. Okie doke. Okay, great. There's Jesus. Awesome. Actually, in the Discord, as you can see, you can do these little things and earn these coins once an hour. You can gamble, and we're trying to come up with something when you get all these coins, what you can do with them. We've had a couple ideas. I keep losing. You can even play Russian roulette. Try to win some tokens. Let's play Russian roulette for a second. Let's see if I can survive. Oh, another shot. Let's do one more. And I'm done. And I'm not playing Russian roulette anymore after I do this last one. All right, great. I won. Okay, good. I've been dying a lot lately. No, let's do it one more time. Come on. Yeah. All right. Yes. Okay. I'm not going to do another one. No, yes, I am. 96. Oh! I was ahead. Now I'm dead. All right. Anyways, you can do that once an hour and get tokens, and you can see who the people who have been playing are me, Siddhartha, Jeremy, Doge, okay, and John. All right, great. Okay. Anyways, that's all stuff you can do in the Discord channel. It's kind of makes you check in once an hour. It's like a gamified way of doing that, and you know that'll hopefully get more activity and excitement going up. Okay. Anyways, that's the Discord channel for fun. Jesus, I gotta give you tags. So you are a lurker. Oops. A lurker. You are a Hoover. Great. All right. Okay. Any questions on all that stuff? That impromptu thing. Let me go to the sheets and pull up Hoove. Okay, so this is the ledger. You can access this actually by going to ideatrek.io.hoove. Okay, by clicking G Sheet here. If you click G Sheet, then it will go to then it'll pop open. It'll pop open the ledger. Okay. All right. So this is the kind of the master list of everything. Everything else are just kind of tools which all feed in to this. So this is where all roads lead. As I'm building out all the Web3 stuff and our blockchain integration, what I'm doing is encoding all of this data onto the blockchain. So off of Google servers, so using Google Sheets and onto Ethereum or Chia. Still haven't totally figured out. I think I'm going to do the token on Ethereum as an ERC20, and then Chia for more of the internal stuff. And this includes both. So I'm going to go through this and just pause for questions a couple times so that people can ask. I'm going to start on the left and work my way to the right. Okay. Starting on any questions before I go through this?
Nope.
We're good. Okay. All right. So, all right. Top left, we have a thing that says total, a thing that says Ag AR. We have a thing that says Hoove Index, and then we have a thing that says Premium. What do these mean? Okay, so total refers to the total Hoove that is in the system. So there's 140,000 tokens that are in the network that are sort of out there, have been created. And okay, great. So now the way that those are created are every time somebody joins, and I'll add you, Marie, and Kathy when I get to that part and show you that. So when I add you two, actually, this will go up to 150,000 because every time a new person joins the network, 5,000 new tokens are created. Okay. All right. Now below that is Aggregate Ar. This is so like whenever if I do a website gig for someone and they pay $2,000, $2,000 goes into the pool, right? It goes into the system, and all of the Hoovers' total AR added up, it makes the aggregate AR. So this is what we would call our liquidity pool. When we do this, get out to Uniswap, this will be transferred into a liquidity pool in Uniswap. So we have like the total amount of caches in the system and the total amount of tokens that are in the system, and then we have the total cache divided by the total tokens equals the Hoove index. Okay. Now the Hoove index, it's just a simple division, right? C2 divided by C1. There it is. And the sort of functionality is that if you own a token, so like J Pops has 1,000 tokens, he could, sell those back so when somebody joins, 5,000 new tokens are created and they go into this Hoove wallet here. And when anybody buys tokens, which they just buy for cash, $1 equals one token. It goes out of the Hoove wallet and into the purchaser's hand. So J-Pop's bought 1,000. But now he can sell back his tokens to the Hoove wallet at the Hoove index. So he bought them 1,000 tokens for $1,000. He could sell them back for $1,116. Okay, so he can make a nice little profit there. But he might want to hold on to them too because he might see like, oh hey, look, some deals are coming through the system. My tokens will be worth let's say I do a big deal and it's $110,000, right? We can. Oh, it did work. Okay. You can see the Hoove index went up to 1.18, right? The aggregate AR went up, the total stayed the same. And so now J-Pops' tokens are worth more, right? And so he might want to hold on to them thinking that they might be worth more in the future. Okay. And somebody, whatever. Okay. So these are the sort of token holders. This is our list of people who have bought tokens and the amounts that they bought them in. There you go. Restricted Hoove is for people who have done projects for the community for tokens. So they haven't, bought any token. They haven't added to the liquidity, but they've earned tokens. And so we're calling those restricted for now until we go live on exchanges, at which point these will be released and then they can, sell them back to the market for cash. Same if we have like influencers who are going to be promoting this, which is a common tactic in releasing new tokens. We pay them in Hoove, and then go in the restricted section. They could sell. Hopefully they don't, because that would, adjust the liquidity and drop the price. But of course, okay. Anyways, whatever. And then we have Banished Souls. These are people who cashed out all of their tokens. They're never allowed to buy at 1-to-1 again. That's the penalty, right? If J Pops wanted to sell all his 1,000 back, he would go into the Banished Souls room, and if he's like, "Hey, I made a great profit. Can I just turn around and buy more tokens?" We'll be like, "Nope, you're a Banished Soul. You can't buy. You'll have to go to the market to buy some. You can't buy them direct from us." Okay. Any questions on how all that works? No? Wonderful. Okay, great. Somewhat straightforward. All right, so the next level over is the Hoove Ledger. So this is just a list of all the transactions. These are people that bought the tokens or sold them back. So, like I sold 500 back to the Hoove Junk. It goes into Hoove Junk. It's kind of like junk bonds. So anyway, so this is the list of everybody that bought and sold tokens. Okay, and then we have the Hoove Leaders. So these are us, right? The people who are, doing work and trading AR, what we call it, with each other, and hopefully bringing in new business and increasing the aggregate AR. And so, we have me and Ipsida, Javon, John, Jason, Grant, everybody who's signed the agreement. Actually, some people have not, but they were prior to this, but can't delete their stuff because that wouldn't be right. Okay, all right. So, and this has a couple lists. It has the net AR list, so the total amount of AR that you've collected. So, like if I sold a gig for 10 grand and I worked it, I got 10 grand AR in, and if I withdrew 5,000 of that to pay myself, I would have a net 5K, right? So this is the, my total AR minus my, expenses or what I've spent. Okay, and then we have an open interest tab. So now when your tokens are created, they aren't really created from thin air. They are backed by they aren't created out of thin air. They're backed by new AR. They're backed because they're created and then they go up on sale. So they're added to the Hoove wallet. So now this assumes that somebody will buy them in the future. But of course, if nobody buys them, then there's nobody to redeem them later. So it actually doesn't really affect the overall ecosystem too much, but it makes it possible, and it gives you a sort of incentive. So if you just started, Terrence, Stephanie, or Harris, they have 5,000 open interest, which means that none of their tokens have sold. Okay. Whereas on Ricketts, on me and Ipsida, all of our tokens have sold. Okay. Javon has sold 4,990. He didn't necessarily sell all of those. It could just be some random person buying them, but for whatever reason, that purchase of those tokens was sort of reflected in Javon's open interest, because he was doing good work then, and we decided to give him a boost. Okay, so that's open interest, and then the rating. So the rating is another complex. That's not that complex. Is a number that reflects your net AR and your open interest. The best, the easiest way to get to 100 is to clean out your open interest, to sell off all your tokens. And another way to do it is to increase your AR and whatever, those work together to get this number. The reason you want a high rating is if your AR is below 15,000, you need to get approval for anything you want to spend. So if you have 5,000 AR and you're like, hey, can you just give me a check for $5,000? We'd be like, well, that's got to get approved. And the board is going to be more willing to approve you if you have a high rating. Okay. So, Harris and Arcady just joined, and so they no open interest. They haven't added any new AR, so they have a 0 rating. So if they were to say, I want to withdraw 5,000, we'd be like, well, you have a 0 rating, right? So you want to try to get your rating up so that you have a little more autonomy. Once you get over 15,000 in AR, then you can do really whatever you want with everything over that. So if you get to 16,000, you want to take out 1,000. There's no issue. It just happens. If you think about it, if you're working for a company and you generate $1 million worth of value for that company, they're probably paying you a salary of around, I don't know, maybe $200,000. If you're lucky, maybe probably less. Something like that. But if you did $1 million worth of value to this network, you obviously get over your 15,000. So then you could withdraw $985,000. It paid out to you basically as an independent contractor. So if you're a high performer and you have a choice of working for an agency on a salary, consider how much value you're contributing to that company, and then look at what you get paid, and then compare that to what you get paid here, and you can see sort of make a decision on what you want to do. Questions on any of that? Nope. Wonderful. Oh my gosh. One of the stocks that I'm betting heavy on plummeted at the open, but now it's recovered, so I'm a little less stressed right now. Okay. All right. Okay, so that's that whole thing. We've got the Hoove owners, the Hoove ledger of the transaction, and the Hoove leaders. So now each person who is in the Hoove group has a ledger. Okay, so this is me, right? My expense. We have my Hoove rating. I'm a level 1 GM, whatever. I just made that up because I'm at 100% and over 15,000. So let's go do some of it. And then you can sort of see everything that I've, worked, right? So I worked on Keith Reed's project. I worked on Marietta's project, Mike Spiga's, right? Nora's training, right? So I worked on all these projects. Money came into the system, and it's reflected in my AR, right? And then there's other places where I bought Hoove, right? Because I was over 15,000, so I bought a whole bunch of Hoove. And actually, if I go to, you see here, I've got 19,000 Hoove, right? And so you can track every single thing that I've done and everything I've spent on through here. So let's. We also actually have a loan system, so you can borrow money from each other and use your AR as collateral, which is pretty interesting. If you have 5,000 AR and you need cash, you wouldn't be able to cash it out because the board wouldn't approve it because you wouldn't have a high Hoove score yet. But you could go take a loan from another Hoover. They could send you $1,000, and then that Hoover would actually get an increase in their AR. Your AR would go down, so you're using your AR as collateral to borrow money from other Hoovers. So we have a little DeFi system set up there. Now, let's see. Let's go. Let's look at it. Ipsida's. So you can see hers, all of her activity. It's wonderful. In the yellow are the this is the token sales. So these are all the people who bought tokens and were assigned to her open interest, right? She has 0 open interest, and so she has 0 because all these people bought tokens and they were assigned to her initial $5,000 tokens, 5,000 worth of tokens. If we look at Jason's got 1,278 open interest left, and these are the people that have bought tokens on his thing. You can sort of see that all the way throughout. So actually, let me add. I added Jesus a while back. So there's Jesus, right? And so now I've got to actually add Marie and Kate, and Katie. Gotta get to the end. We're almost there. Okay. I'll add Marie and Kate. All right. So that's pretty much it. So now let's just do some Q&A for anybody that has questions for any of this stuff or anything that was unclear. I'm sure a lot of it was because it's me explaining it. Marie, what color do you want?
Top right. Like second row, top right.
Yeah, second row, top right. You got it. All right, great. And insert far right. Okay, and Katie. Oh wait, was it KT or KD?
Kathy.
It's not even Katie. It's Kathy. Oh gosh. All right. Wonderful. Wonderful job, Roger. Kathy. Okay. We'll do a color for you. Wonderful. Okie doke. All right. There we go. All right. So you're in. So Marie and Kathy, you have 5,000 open interest. You have 5,000 net AR. So if you want, you could make a request to do something with your AR because you're under 15,000. That would get approved or not approved by the board. The board's job is to protect the Hoove index, so we don't want that to drop. So like if you said pay me 5,000, then you'd have a 5,000 expense. The Hoove index would take a hit, and the board would be considering what are we getting for that, right? Is there going to be some future value in terms of aggregate AR that would increase the Hoove index over time? They'll make the decision based on that. And of course, if you have a really high rating, say because you sold out you have 0 open interest, and you have a 1 rating, 100%. Well, then they'll be like, oh, hey, yeah, they want to take out 1,000. All right, sure. That's fine. That's fine. The Hoove index isn't really affected. So, actually, why did that happen? Ooh. All right. So, anyways, so there's all that. That's not supposed to affect the index. I got to figure out what's going on there. All right. I have a bug to fix. Wonderful. Okay. All right. So there we go. Back to questions.
So when we make a transaction, do we put it in the ledger ourselves?
So right now, you would report it to me, and I would update this ledger.
Okay.
Once it goes onto a blockchain, the tokens, when you do a transaction with another Hoover for some AR or something, it'll all be updated in your wallets. So if you think of, there's going to be 2 sets of wallets. You're going to have one wallet that'll hold your Hoove, which is the token that's sort of tradable in public. And then you'll have another token in your wallet, which will be this internal token. And all of this will be reflected in that. Will be reflected in that set of tokens. So yeah. So right now we are actually centralized because everything has to pass through me. Because I'm the one that's going to be updating the sheet. But once I get it fully onto a blockchain, then it'll be decentralized, and I will drift away into nothingness.
Can you explain again how open interests is affected, like decreasing it or goes up or down?
Can you say that one more time?
Yeah. Can you explain again how, what actions you can do to affect your open interest? So let's say I'm a new joiner. I have 5,000 AR, but my open interest is also 5,000. So if I wanted to change my rating, how does that go?
Right. So there's 2 things you can do. You can either reduce your open interest. So if we reduce your open interest, say, Roger buys 1,000 tokens, your open interest goes down to 4,000, and your rating goes up to 0.2. Goes up from 0, right, to 0.2. Okay. Now. Oh, I see what's happening. For some reason, that's reducing. Oh, because nobody's bought it. So, okay, I see why that was happening. So let's say that I just bought 1,000. This would, right, my total tokens would go to 20, right? And, right, the Hoove index remains the same. That's why that was happening. I was freaking out. So no bugs. It's working. All right. So we'll go back to 19. All right. So ignore that. So, all right. So you can get, you can go out, you could go sell tokens. That would be one way to do it, right? So you would reduce your open interest and you'd up your Hoove score. There's also the situations where, like, random people will buy tokens, and when that happens, we're actually in the middle of devising a system for, like, how do we assign those? So, like, if some new person comes along and they buy 1,000 tokens, well, a specific Hoover didn't sell those tokens. Like, if you sold those tokens, obviously we'd assign them to you, right? But if it was a random person, or maybe I sold the token, but I have no more open interest, so I wouldn't really get credit for it, right? Because there's no way to recognize that sale credit. Instead, I might say, you know what, I like Marie, so I'm going to assign it to her, right? Or we can come up with a more objective method, like a vote. Or the other way to do it is those tokens, those coins in Discord. We could say, like, the highest coin holder who isn't at a 0 open interest gets awarded the random token sale that came through. So there's a couple things you can do in that sense. There's a couple things you can do. You can sell tokens. You can sort of be active and get a high coin number or whatever metric we come up with to say that these random ones are assigned to you, or you can. I guess those are the two things that you can do in order to reduce your open interest. Does increase your score. Now, the other way to increase your score is to get AR. So that goes down here. So let's say you do something. Let's say you help me with a project, and we make a deal that I'm going to give you 1,000 AR for helping me. Right? You get 1,000 AR. Well, now your thing goes up to 0.16. So you can see that actually reducing your open interest increases your score more than just adding new AR. And that I think makes sense. Right? If you're creating 5,000 new tokens and you immediately sell those tokens out, you've covered yourself, right? So to speak, right? Whereas when you're doing work for other people, I mean, you could do work that brings in new AR, or you could just do work that takes AR off of somebody else. So, like, it could be that Kathy goes, Kathy gives you 1,000 AR for mowing her lawn, or whatever. She goes down 1,000, you go up 1,000, so it's a wash on total AR. So there's no change to the aggregate. You could conceivably get up to 20,000 AR just by taking more AR from other people. We could at some point make a distinction between outside and internal, but I actually don't think it matters that much. And we'll be able to tell too. And actually, when you go to say request withdrawal or request to use some of the cash, the board will be able to look at your ledger and say, were those external or internal, right? And those all will weigh into the decision-making process of the board, which makes that decision, by the way, through a kind of jury model rather than like a metric model. The metrics, weigh in your favor or against you, but at the end of the day, it's a person making a decision. Actually, let me add you two here. So yeah, you can increase your AR, and you can do that by helping out other Hoovers, or by bringing in new revenue, or you can sell your tokens, or you can just be active and ready to catch new token sales when they come in. Does that answer the question?
Mm-hmm. And then going back to your whole point of if a random person were to come in and buy tokens. So yeah. To your second point of if you generate tokens. So let's say I'm trying to do a job for someone who is not a Hoover. Is that possible? And then for that random person who let's say I make a deal with this non-Hoover, and I'm like, you can pay me in, would it be Hoove for the public person or AR? And then is that how it would work?
This is great. So what would happen is, so let's say that you, Joe on the street wanted you to build a website for them. They're going to pay $100. You could just collect that $100 from them, right, and put it into your bank account, and yay, you have $100, right? The other way to do it is you could pass the transaction through the Hoove system, okay, which would mean you would send them an agreement. And actually, if you go to now, what you've signed, when you go to that blank -3 page where you do sign, that turns into your dashboard, and there's a form there where you can submit an SLA to somebody. And actually, you should probably go in and submit a test SLA just to see what it's like, and you'll actually see it pop up in the Discord as well. Just send it to yourself so you see what happens, and then what the actual SLA looks like. There's a whole contract. The user signs, and then they can pay on that screen. So, if you say, hey, I'm going to send you this, agreement through this thing, and then they pay that, well, that goes into the sort of the Hoove coffers, right? And then once I see that go in, I'm going to be like, hey, who did this deal? And then I'll be like, oh, we'll you earned 100, right? And so then I add it onto the ledger there. And so then your AR goes up. So, whenever you have a money-making opportunity in the road, you can weigh, do I need this cash now, or do I see value in contributing it to, or doing it through the Hoove system? I would argue that if you're running your own freelance business, rather than setting up your own LLC or registering as an S corp, dealing with taxes, dealing with accounting, dealing with all that stuff, you're better off just passing it through. You setting up your own credit card processing. You're better off just passing it through this system because, again, once you're over the 15K thing, if you do $1 million worth of value, the 15K is almost meaningless. But if you get 100 and you pay yourself out 100, you get a 1099. So your taxes are way simpler, way simpler that way. So in a sense, there's almost like an upfront 10K fee, sort of. But whereas in most DAOs where you actually have to pay that, the way you do that is you buy tokens on their system, or you get them somehow. In ours, you can kind of work your way up to the level where you're like a full member, rather than having to put up any necessary cash. And then the value of it long term is, again, if you do $1 million in revenue, it's much easier for you to manage all of that through this than it is if you were to do it as in your own LLC or your own S corp. And then you'll make more money than if you worked at an agency. And it's not like you pay that money; it's still sitting in your account, and you can use it. You can request to use it, and if you have a high rating, the board's not gonna bat an eye at doing it. So the way you get on the board, and you can get on the board if you want to. The way you get on the board is you need to be in the group that has the most AR, and it's in 5,000 increments. So right now, if anybody else was to get over 15,000 AR, they would be on the board with me, and any request that came through, we would have a vote, right? Right now, I'm the only one over 50,000. But once I go over 20,000, then it will be only people over 20,000. So if you were at 16 and then I get over 20, now I'm the only one on the board. So there can be like a kind of race to power in that sense too. So actually, there's three things you can do. You can hoard your AR to get power, right, to be on the board. You can get to 15K AR and then cash out everything, right? If you do $1 million in value, you can pull out 985,000. So you have lots of money now, yay, right? Lots of money. Whereas if you're on the board, all that would be tied up in the system, but you have power, right? The other thing you can do is you can spend your AR by hiring other Hoovers to help you. So if you're starting a company and you need somebody to build your website, you need somebody to do marketing, you need somebody to do sales, well, your AR, if you want to transfer it internally, well, that doesn't really affect the Hoove index. So there's really no issue with you paying another Hoover 1,000 AR to help you with a website. if you're building a company and you have no money, like you join, you get 5,000 off the bat, that gets you rolling to get some of your stuff built and out there. And then when you run out, you can go mow somebody's lawn for AR, or you can use some of your skills to earn more AR from them so that you get more so you can pay it. So as a founder, you're probably going to be hovering around 0 AR because you keep spending it on growing your company. And once actually your company gets to the point where it's really cruising, that's when you'll want to spin it out into a separate LLC. A lot of the issues people have when they start their own company is they spend all this time and effort just setting up the legal infrastructure, and then of course they realize their company sucks. Their product doesn't do anything. They wasted all this time and effort and money on organizing this infrastructure that is now just for boot. So they can instead come in here, get it rolled up and spinning, right, without having to take on investors or go through any of that complex stuff. And then when it's ready, when it's making money, now spin it out into a separate corporation, and we'll try to get some points for the Hoove system. We'll negotiate with you on that, and hopefully deliver that. Showing you the value that you think it's worth it to continue, within the ecosystem. You don't have to. In which case, we'll send you to the Banished Souls room because you screwed everybody over. Not really, but sort of screwed everybody over. That makes sense.
Makes sense.
Getting to 10 o'clock, so I'd say if you have more questions, please ask, or send me messages or ask in the group.
I have a question.
Yes.
We spoke before, and you said something like you guys get leads from startups. So will we just get pinged on? I don't know. Where do we get pinged? Like if someone wants it, I'm a designer. They want a logo or something. So how does that process work?
Yep. So we have a couple lead funnels, we have a couple lead funnels, and there's a group of Hoovers who kind of do sales on those funnels. And whenever they close a deal, they're going to look at the available Hoovers and be like, who do I want to work on this deal? And so they might get an RFQ in, and then they'll say, hey, Hoover, they need this stuff. How much would you charge in AR to do that? And then they might shop around to a couple other Hoovers. And then they'll select one. They'll close the deal, they'll put through the SLA, and then they'll kind of account manage the client, right? And then they'll pay you to deliver the service, and then you'd get AR that way. So there's a group of people who are doing those sales. John manages those. So if you want to do sales, and manage those accounts, talk to John. You can also just sort of hand it off for a commission rather than having to manage the account, but you get less AR. Like if you charge $10,000, maybe you make a commission deal for sending it to the other Hoover to manage the account and deliver the service. They'll give you $1,000 AR, commission. So if you want to plug into that pipeline, or you can also do it direct, like close the deal and work it and keep all of it, right? Keep all the AR. So you get in touch with John to get onto that sales team, or make friends with the salespeople. Jeremy's one of the salespeople, right? So I'd say, hey, Jeremy, hook me up, go close some deals. And if nothing's coming through, be like, Jeremy, what's up? Why aren't you closing anything? Right. So you're incentivized to kind of network and get to know the other people, so that they can, they'll be eager to bring you deals to help them out on stuff.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah. So John is kind of leads that sales group. Jeremy's in there, so he might be a good in to get onto that flow. I've got a project that I'm working on right now. I think I mentioned to you, Kathy, and it would actually be really good. It's a perfect one to show you how the Wix backend works and everything. So either I'll just do it, maybe I'll record myself doing it and send that to you, or we can set up another time and I can walk you through what I did and how it all works. And then I'm terrible at design, Marie, but John's pretty good at it. So usually whenever there's a design thing, I send it to him. But so if you want to learn the Wix design portal and how all that stuff works, John would be a good person to talk to.
Yeah, definitely.
So maybe connect with him. That would be a good reason to chat. Yeah. All right, we're at 10. I respond quickly in Discord and Slack. So if you need anything, just ping me.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
Good.
Sure, Warrior. Thank you very much.
All right, everybody. We'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Bye.
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 Bye.